Garrett, good morning. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, man. Why LSU?
So when I was on the visit, it just kind of felt different. And coming back home to Michigan, talking to like my coaches about it, talking to my family about it, it just kind of felt different, felt right. And then talking over like Zoom calls and meetings like that, it just kind of more I talked to those coaches and like did virtual tours, it just kind of felt like the place I wanted to be at.
You are in the middle of Big Ten country, and two of the and all of the Big Ten elites were after you. How much did it mean to play in the SEC?
It means a lot because when I like watch games, I can tell that the SEC is definitely the better conference, and the better players play there, and iron sharpens iron. So I want to play against the best competition to become the best.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. Garrett, but before we get back to football, I want to ask you about your family life a bit because you have a pretty fascinating family and story. A lot of service to America, to the U.S. Your father being in the military for a long time, going all over the world. I think you have like 4 siblings. What was it like growing up, and how do you think it kind of influenced you growing up with your dad kind of traveling all over and the example that your parents set?
So yes, my dad's in the military, or he works for the federal government, and so we move around a lot. So I was born in Maryland. I moved to Michigan. I moved to Alabama. I moved back to Michigan.
Wow.
So, like my parents have lived in Texas, California, and just since I've been moving around a lot, me like going, because people are like, oh, like LSU, that's so far away. Well, to me, like that's not a big problem because I'm used to like moving and being like far away from where I originally am.
Sorry, continue.
And I was just gonna say that since like having that type of background, that just kind of makes me stronger in that sense of like going 17 hours away to college.
Yeah, no doubt. And then what about other family influences? Am I right? Is your older brother, he played at Kent State, did he go on to be a Navy SEAL?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, does he ever kind of mess sure, like when you're dying conditioning and you're tired and everything, does he ever kind of mess with you? Do you ever think about that SEAL training?
Yeah, I think about it because I think like if he could do that, then I could do this extra 100-yard dash, something like that.
Garrett Dellinger joining us here off the bench, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria, LSU's newest commit. We talk to Coach Ogeron weekly here on Off the Bench, and he is always singing the praises of Jimmy Cregg, of James Cregg, the offensive line coach. Last year, of course, he put that offensive line in a position to win the Joe Moore Award. Can you explain the relationship that you have with LSU's offensive line coach and what he meant to your commitment to Baton Rouge?
Yeah, so he was actually a big part of this. He's definitely one of my favorite coaches, him and Coach O. And like just kind of talking to him through like Zoom meetings and just seeing how he like does his practices, what kind of drills he does. It makes sense why he won the Joe Moore Award. Because everything he says is so like smart, so like accurate, straight to the point. That I can just tell that he is developing players who goes to the next level. And when you're doing that, of course you're going to win the Joe Moore Award. And yeah, so we have a great relationship because we talk on the phone almost every single day, and then we do Zoom meetings like twice a week. So yeah.
Garrett, what about this last season? Because obviously the recruiting goes on for years, right? And so LSU's been on you for a while now. But what kind of impact, just from afar, watching what the team did, the 15-0 run, what kind of influence did that have on your choice?
Not that big of influence because, I mean, I went down there at the Arkansas game, so I've been liking it ever since before they even like knew that they were gonna make like a huge run like that.
Yeah.
So, but then them doing that, then shows that they are a great team and they're going to be great for the next few years at least. So it's kind of like a cherry on top, I guess, that win a national championship.
And the head coach of that national championship coach is Coach O, and he's obviously he's very regional. You know, he's as representative of Louisiana and Cajun culture as you can be. What was that kind of like when he showed up to visit you at your school or your parents up in Michigan? What was the reaction like?
I mean, it's pretty awesome. Coach O's pretty awesome. At first, it took me a second to like fully understand him, but I can just tell by like his energy and stuff like that that of course every player wants to play for Coach O because his energy is a little different, and it just makes you want to play just as best as you can for him.
You are you're a multi-sport athlete, right? I read that you were a starting power forward on a state championship basketball team as well. How has that continued to develop through your high school days? Do you continue to play multi-sports?
So my freshman year I played, and then my sophomore year I was hurt, and then last year, since I'm going to graduate earlier my senior year, last year I decided to not play, just to fully focus on football. But like basketball helped me with my footwork, my hand-eye coordination. I mean, all the most athletic like things you need that have in basketball can easily transfer over to football. I feel like I'm way more athletic now because of basketball.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure, absolutely. I mean, especially when you can tell when the way that you move your feet on the offensive line. This recruiting class, you guys are in the top 10, and you have the fewest number of commits of any class that are in the top 10 right now. So when you look at this class, it looks like it is budding into something special. And then after your commitment yesterday, I saw Corey Kleiner, the running back, on Twitter making comments about it. I saw Garrett Nussmeier, who's the quarterback in the class, quote tweeting and making comments about your commitment and talking about who's next. Can you talk about what you guys are building as far as this class is concerned and how much camaraderie that is already built between you guys as a unit?
Yeah. So yesterday I was just invited into the LSU group chat for my class. So yeah, but I was kind of going through like what they're saying to each other. It seems like they're already like super tight. They already welcomed me. I already feel super comfortable around them. I've been talking to Garrett probably for the past few weeks now, just about like at first it was kind of about like football and stuff, but he wanted to get to know me like more personal. And I was like, well, if he's gonna be one of my teammates, got to get more personal with these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we started talking about like hobbies, like video games, like fishing, stuff like that now. So yeah, I just feel that these guys are really the type of guys I want to be around.
So what game are you playing right now? Is it Warzone? Are you on the COD train with everybody else?
I think everyone's on that train right now.
Yeah. It's the hotness right now. Talking to Garrett Dellinger here on Off the Bench. As far as football is concerned, where do you kind of feel like your game's at? Because the tape is super impressive, just like mauling guys there on the edge. But when you look at yourself and you're like, where can I improve? What do you think?
I could definitely improve on my run game and pass game, especially with like techniques and stuff like that. I don't really know a lot of techniques. I feel like right now I'm just using like my athletic ability.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll really work on my techniques, hone in on like my steps, my hands, stuff like that.
So you will be an early enrollee, is that right?
Yes.
And the commitment 100% secure?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Love it, man.
Love it. Gee, thank you so much, man. Can't wait to watch you play.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Have a great senior season, man.
Thank you.
You got it. There he is, Garrett Dellinger, checking in from Michigan this morning, and he is the latest commitment to the class of 2021 for LSU. And as we said, that Tiger class right now is ranked in the top 10 with the fewest amount of commits when compared to the rest of the top 10. So you can tell that these are some high-quality guys that they're getting. Dellinger is a top 100 player when you look around. He's a top 10 offensive lineman in the country when you look at just the numbers and the recruiting rankings of these guys that are in the class.
Yeah, what a nice resource, too. Something like the development of group messaging is. Like, it just – whatever. We compare everything against our own life experiences, and that's just something that wasn't around back in the day. So, like, the first day that you were making these relationships or when you showed up for summer and you're kind of awkwardly figuring things out, like, to be able to get so far ahead of the curve and develop those relationships and chemistry, that's going to help immeasurably when everybody gets there.